I'm Champaign native Emily Harrington. You're watching the podcast where townies and transplants share their tales of tears and triumphs, losses and wins, proving week after week that everyone has a story to tell. Welcome to Hyperlocals. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the next episode of the Hyperlocals podcast. This is going to be an interesting one. We have like a mashup of old and new. We have three ladies, which is also going to be an interesting navigation as we go through this this interview that I'm excited to learn and tell about. So we have Emily Donohoe. She is a previous guest, and we looked this up from May 21st, 2024. Hello, Emily.
Hello.
You are the leader of this project that we're going to be discussing.
Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
The other person's Shauna Boatright, September 2025 guest. So pretty recent. Yeah. And you made it through.
I did.
The podcast efforts, part 1 and part 2.
It was fun.
Okay. Are you glad you did it in retrospect?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. That's all. Yeah, that's great.
Why I'm back.
Okay, great. And then we have new to me and new to the audience, Sherry Carter. Hello.
Hello.
How are you feeling, Sherry? I mean, this is like a little.
Feeling pretty good.
You didn't even know you were going to be on video.
No.
But you
It was a
look
shocker.
dressed for video.
Hey.
Yes, you do. You do. So thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate
having me.
all three of you. And just getting 4 or 5 schedules is a feat in itself. So just being here, I think we've won, honestly. Okay. Emily contacted me, as I like to set these things up, saying that she had a good idea for the podcast. She is working on a project that is unique and unlike anything you have done or the community other photographers have done.
I would think so, yeah.
And that I might be interested. So 3 women in a brand new project in town. Sign me up, okay? Okay. Through Purple Eyes is the name of the project.
Yes.
Before we get into the specifics, I want to know how you two met, because I find that fascinating itself.
Okay, well, we started a Santa Visit sponsorship program last year, and that is where Shauna's and my connection stems from.
Okay.
So we had businesses and individuals sponsor Santa Visits portrait sessions with us, and Shauna was one of the recipients of a donated session.
Got it. Okay.
So it also turns out that she used to work with Stacy.
Oh, okay. And
Sorry, they went to high school. And
I've known Stacy since I was in elementary school.
Really?
Yeah, I did ballet with her sister when I was like in kindergarten.
So when you went to Emily's place of business, did you know you were going to see Stacy?
I did.
Okay.
So Stacy had informed me that I was my family was nominated, my children and I,
Oh my gosh.
for a Santa portrait, and this was actually my first family photo since I'd been home.
Oh my gosh.
So I was really excited, and then Stacy contacted me that we won a
Santa
the correct word, but a Santa
Yeah,
session.
yeah, sure.
And so we went and had our photos done, and it was really, really amazing. I was emotional the whole time watching it. It really is magical.
So Emily and Pixels does this, again, unlike anything I've ever experienced, a magical Santa experience.
We do.
With a awesome, unique, just unreal, Santa, and the most amazing props, sets. It's just, it's done to the nth degree. It is just really special.
That is the goal.
Yeah, you nail it.
Bring the magic home.
You nail it. So, Shauna, you participated in one of those photo shoots.
I did.
Did you get in it?
I did. Yeah, I was planning not to, but they were like, you can get in it, and it was the real Santa, so I had to.
It is magic, pure magic. Okay, so that's how you two met. Mm-hmm. And then how did you kind of discover Shauna's background?
Okay, so Shauna came in to pick up her portraits.
Okay.
And so she was standing in my office. It was even late in the day, I think, that day. And she's standing there and we're chatting about the nonprofit that she works for, because we were talking about putting a package together for a fundraiser that they had coming up. And she's standing there and she's looking at me and she just goes, I don't know why I'm supposed to say this to you, but I am. I'm just supposed to say this to you. And I said, okay, hit me. And she said, have you ever heard of Purple Boudoir? And I said, nope. And she said, well, there's a photographer out of Chicago that does boudoir sessions for women that have survived physical or domestic violence.
Okay.
And I was like, And I was like, nope, never heard of that. And in my head, I had been trying to come up with an artist project because after our Santa sessions, I always feel kind of creatively flat.
Sure.
Because although it took a ton of creativity to build the sets, we photographed them for 2.5 months. And so I'm literally taking the same pictures with the same settings
Sure.
from the same spot day in and day out.
That makes total sense.
So I always want something to kind of awaken my creativity again. And I'd been trying to come up with a subject of some type of person, somebody that had, or people that had a commonality.
Sure.
That I could be really creative with. And so as she's talking, my brain starts spinning. And as soon as she walked out of my office, I'm like, this is it. This is the project.
Wow, okay.
Not that I wanted to do boudoir. That was not the direction I wanted to go. But I have a big place in my heart for mental health and for helping people see who they are through the lens.
Sure,
and
sure.
helping just like it can be a transformative experience. I've gone through it.
Yeah.
So I know
Sure.
I'm not just from my side of the camera. And so I was like, that's it. I'm going to work with people on the other side of domestic violence.
Did you know that Shauna was a victim of domestic violence?
I did not ahead
Okay.
of time.
Okay.
As this conversation went on, then she said, well, actually, I have a story.
Okay, got
And
it.
so
Okay.
she told me her story, and, my jaw was kind of on the table and was like, oh my God, no one human deserves, no one deserves to go through that. But like, wow, all the things she's endured. And she's standing here all put together, bubbly and bright. And I'm like,
And doing good work.
yes,
the
doing amazing
community.
work.
Yeah.
So, even more so, I was like, yes, and she's going to be my first person.
Okay. And she is the cover girl.
She is our cover girl.
Okay. Now, Shauna, I said, can you tell your story in 5 minutes? We had a part 1 and part 2, hours plus long. There is so many complicated layers we could never redo what we did on the podcast. But you did say you kind of had an elevator version. If you could just tell the audience what makes you a good cover girl for Emily and this project.
Sure. So elevator story, I'm going to bullet point this. You can go back and listen to the podcast that we did for the full story.
That is right.
But I grew up in kind of on rough times and not from a very well-off family. And I endured and survived child sexual assault by my biological father, whom then went to prison for 25 years. I then really struggled with finding a good partner, a good man, but I did work at a federal prison for 10 years. And during my time working there, I did get married to a correctional officer there. We had 2 beautiful children who are now, my daughter just turned 8, my son's turning 7 in 16 days, not that he's counting. And that went very, very south. That relationship went very south. Started to become very unhealthy and very scary to the point that I had a gun pulled on me, amongst other stalking and abusive things. And so definitely more emotional and all of the ways, not as much physical, but financial, emotional, all of that type of stuff the most.
Sure.
So I got, a federal paycheck was no longer worth it to me, and I wanted to move back home here because I'm a Rantoul native. So I got pretty desperate, and I could not afford to move back home because I couldn't cross state lines
Sure.
with my children, and he really had a big fit with that. So I ended up committing a crime. I took tobacco into an inmate for money because tobacco goes for a lot of money in prison, especially during COVID times because this was 2020.
Okay.
And I used that money to pay an attorney to move home with my kids, but it was a setup, locked out of the prison and all of the things. I had a job already secured here. But anyway, I still move home with that money, and I get back. And 3 years later, I won custody of my children. And 3 years later, the feds knocked on my door and wanted to talk about that tobacco. And so I ended up being sentenced to federal prison for a year and a day, but I did 6 months in plus some house arrest time and halfway house time. And then I got home September 4th and went for a long time without being employed. And then this amazing nonprofit sector that I work with hired me, knowing my story very well, and it's been incredibly supportive. I don't have my children full time, but I do have them part time, and we are just growing and thriving,
rebuilding,
rebuilding.
Yeah. Talk about you're a big advocate, I would say, for your own story and the stories of others, and you produced these films.
Yeah, so Held Hostage at Home, you can find it on YouTube. Ballfax Emmanuel Lynch is who did the documentaries, and he did an amazing job. But it's Held Hostage at Home, and then Stand Tall Anyway is the follow-up. And I am also on a board, Jana's campaign, so just an advocate for domestic violence survivors, especially those, for me, criminalized survivors.
Okay. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, Sherry, we're going to get into you, so you better get ready when we come back. And we are back. Okay. Sherry, I said I was going to pick up with you. So what I'm going to ask is, first, how do you know Shauna? Is it strictly through work?
Yes.
It is. Okay. And then how do you two discover the camaraderie or that you have this commonality with each other? Did it just come up on the lunch table?
Pretty much, yes.
Really?
So we're pretty much open book. Shauna tells her story. I'm kind of, what do you say? I'm very closed when it comes to
Oh, sure.
like asking my feelings, talking about anything. But for whatever reason, we were sitting at lunch one day, and I was like, okay, she's telling a story.
Yeah.
And we are so much alike.
Oh, wow.
Like, this is ridiculous. And so I started telling my story. So we just call each other like the double life twins.
Oh, that's
So, which is so funny because everybody's like, what are you guys even talking about? And only we can relate.
sure.
You
Yeah.
know? So we as a whole, we grew up different, but we didn't grow up different because we went through the exact same thing, similar things.
Okay.
But in different, at the same aspect, if you get what I'm saying.
Okay. Where are you born and raised?
I was born in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Okay.
And I was raised here in Champaign, Illinois.
Okay. So you've been here for
41 years.
41 years. Yes. Okay. As much as you're comfortable with, in whatever fashion, can you give me your elevator pitch of your domestic violence story?
So my story is a little different.
Okay.
I didn't have domestic violence. Mine was more or less me finding myself as far as going through adoption and being human trafficking through my biological mother.
Okay.
So when I told my story, it was based on me basically trying to heal from what happened in the past.
Okay.
When I came to Emily, I flat out told her, I was like, no domestic violence, just me wanting to tell my story because I know there's young women out there that want to tell a story, but they have nobody to tell it to.
Sure.
So, and I felt like this was a great way for me to get my story out and heal from it once and for all.
When did the trauma of your story take place?
Oh, I would say maybe 13, 14.
Age 13 or 14. Okay. And just so I understand, you were human trafficked?
Yes.
Okay.
At the age of 16.
At the age of 16. Within Illinois?
Mississippi.
Okay. How long did that last?
I would say roughly almost a year.
A year. And you were able to break free from that?
Yes.
Okay. So that is that the worst nugget of your story, you think? The one you're trying to heal from the most?
Yeah, because I feel like it was my biological mother's fault.
Okay.
And she didn't try to protect me.
Okay.
and I just feel like no kid should ever have to deal with that.
Sure. We asked before the podcast started the many hats you wear. And you rattled off 10 in like 20 seconds.
Yes.
So can we talk about today all the different hats you wear?
Yes.
Okay. So let's kind of try to go through them. You work at a nonprofit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is that your biggest portion of your week? Okay. And then I read, I count.
Yes.
That's a Stratton. So you go there and you just help.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about Zeta Phi Beta.
So we're in the sister group. I am in the sister group called the Mikais.
Okay.
They just chartered last October. We got inducted in the charter group, which is something new for Champaign County. So basically, we do a lot of outreach and getting with the community and stuff.
Board on WYCA?
YWCA.
YWCA.
Yes.
Tell me, what's that?
So it's a young women Christian association.
Okay.
So we typically have the voice for women, and not just women, but Black and brown women. So we do a lot of outreach with that. Just getting our voice out there, letting everybody know that, it's okay to be a woman and it's okay to have a voice.
Okay. And we're going to talk about why that's so important. Then you have two other profitable jobs. Okay. And then you're a single mom.
Yes.
Is okay above all else, right?
Above all else.
Okay. Are you sleeping a lot at night?
Am I sleeping?
Yeah, because it doesn't sound like it.
No, I'm up all the time. I'm up all the time.
She's also a crafter, and she's really amazing
Yes.
at it.
I
How she
love
finds
crafting.
the time to do that, I don't know.
Okay, so in your spare time.
That's my piece.
Oh, sure.
That's my piece.
That I understand.
Yes.
So what happened to you as a teen? You've obviously turned your life around, and do you see your purpose as advocating and giving other women a voice? Would you say that?
I would say that.
Okay. Why is that important to you? Or why are you good at that, at advocating?
Because I've been through it.
Yeah.
A lot of times people don't want to tell their story because they feel like you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
And throughout the years, I've realized like just telling my story helps so many people. They're like, I should have talked to you a long time ago. I should have met you years ago.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, we met when we met. So
Talking to someone who doesn't judge you is like priceless to me. You know what I mean? That you could feel comfortable with. Yeah. So at what point, Shauna, did you hear her story, and what were your thoughts?
I actually don't know her whole story.
Okay.
So she is so outgoing once she warms up to you, and she's just a ball of energy.
Sure.
She is a whole vibe. Like, she is the office vibe. And she gives you like little pieces.
Oh,
of it.
sure.
Like, she's given me pieces. And I appreciate those pieces. I think what you said, when you share your story in a safe space, that's where shame dies. And a lot of survivors carry shame unnecessarily with them, right? And so, I think we've been that for each other a little bit. And but I don't know her whole story yet,
So more to come on that,
more
I'm
to
sure.
come.
Now, how did you then talk her into the Project Emily?
I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just was so excited about this.
Sure.
And I really don't know where it came from. It was like this nagging feeling in my brain when I was like, I want to stay in my lane, but I have to say this to you, right?
Right.
And so I was so excited when she and I went to lunch, and she was like, there's a project that I'm doing, and this is what it's called, and I want you to be the first. And so she started putting all the pieces together, and I just simply shared it with everybody I know. Just like every single human, and was like, whether it's you or somebody please share this. I think this is going to be incredibly impactful. So I texted it to you, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the link to the project, and next thing I know, it was like 2 days later, and she's like, I have an appointment with Emily.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to do the...
So it didn't take a lot of convincing for you to be a part of it.
Not through Shauna's eyes, but through mine. 'Cause I'm very, like I said, closed in. I don't open up that often.
Sure.
But I've been asked a couple times when I'm writing me a story, and then this text pops up.
Sure.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, well, it's not domestic violence, but I do got a story. Why not?
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone.
I want to, while we're here, let's define domestic violence and the type of participants you're looking for, Emily.
Well, and I'll say this, I mean, because you said that to me when we had our meeting the other day. You were like, oh, I'm not domestic violence, but that is domestic violence. It's not physical abuse, but that's domestic violence.
Or like a lot of people just attribute domestic violence to
Just a physical.
their partner.
Sure.
Yes.
But, domestic violence is family, but it's really just any intimate partner violence of any
Right.
kind, and whether it's physical or not, but intimate partner, right?
Yeah, and that goes for children. And now I will say that I'm not really looking for young kids.
Sure.
I want to be working with people that are at a point in their healing that they feel like that they can share this.
Sure.
I am not educated enough in trauma awareness and things to be comfortable working with a child.
100%.
So I want to be clear about that.
Okay. That makes sense. And when we come back from our break, we are going to kind of dive into how you define and outline through Purple Eyes, your Pixels project by Emily Donohoe.
Sounds great.
Okay, and we are back. Okay, Emily, you're in the hot seat.
All right.
You gave me these gorgeous pamphlets that we will put on the screen, and it outlines this project. So you said you were kind of looking for, well, first of all, you are unlike any photographer, I believe.
I like to think so.
Okay.
That's my goal.
You have found a niche, and you could probably define it better, but you said portraiture earlier.
Fine art portraiture, yeah.
It's your photographs look like paintings.
Yes.
In a lot of ways. And there's multiple different packages or levels you can choose from.
For sure.
To create that for your family or your kids or whatever. What's really interesting and very unique is that you said you're pushing things together that you like. And that's what sets you apart, in my opinion. So you're taking mental health awareness. You're taking children that might need a little boost of self-esteem and creating avenues for them to express themselves through portraiture.
Yeah.
So let's go through them because you kind of defined them before, but I want to make sure we say what they are.
Okay.
So styled story sessions fall under a Grace and Grit umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about the styled story sessions.
Okay. Well, all Grace and Grit sessions they're targeted towards tweens and teens. So ages 6 to 18.
So the worst time of your life.
The hardest time, yes. I mean, I'm still scarred from that period of my own life. And so if there's anything I can do to help people through that, then we want to. So within our Grace and Grit, we have 2 different types of sessions, and one of which is the styled story, like you just said.
Okay.
Those are geared towards girls, boys. I like to think of them as giving our kids that are have maybe interests that are a little bit more on the loner side.
Yeah.
Maybe they're into reading, maybe they're into Roblox or whatever the cool game is right now, where they aren't necessarily part of a team or getting that kind of camaraderie, or maybe looked at as a little bit more of a loner who's quiet and whatnot. So whatever it is that kids are into, we want to know, and we will build a set around that, whether it's books or, whatever it is, gaming. And then we really want to highlight and champion kids in what they love best.
Yes.
And we want to put them in their element in a really cool way and just give them confidence in who they are.
Sure. Can you describe I don't know if you're comfortable talking about the the one particular girl that came in.
Yeah, we had a girl come in last year, and it was just kind of an off the cuff. I asked her mom if she would be interested in being a model for us. And she said, well, let me talk to her. She's pretty shy. She's like, but let me see. So she got back to me. She said, yes, she said she's willing. And I was like, all right. So she came in, and when they walked through the door, her daughter had on a hoodie and was kind of head down, had her art notebook in her arm. And through her hair and makeup session, we just sat there and talked. And I kind of got to know a little bit about her and what she was into. And so we got her all through hair and makeup, got her in her couture gown, and brought her in to start. And I started clicking, and that girl came alive in front of my camera. Like, she started posing like she was in a Vogue magazine. I have never had someone do what she did. And I looked at her and I was like, I'm not going to direct you anymore. I just want you to go. Like, whatever you feel, go. And when she walked out, I mean, the smiles during the session were incredible. Her mom cried the entire time. She was like, I've never seen her like this. I don't know how you just did this, but do you see what's happening? And when she left that day, I don't even think she had her sweatshirt on.
Well, okay.
So like, we went from kind of, head down, very kind of drawn into herself, to like, look at me world.
And that gave her a little momentum.
Yes.
In life, in her social life, school, around.
Yeah. Her mom told me the other day she's joined 4 different clubs.
Oh, wow.
She's never home on the weekends because she's off doing all kinds of things. And that this really had a profound effect on her sense of well-being and sense of worth, which, I mean, that's exactly why we do this.
So that's, to me, what makes you very unique in this wide field, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this particular project, how did this come to be?
Okay. This came to be through another program that we had started. I mean, is where it truly started. Last year, we started a Santa Visit Scholarship program for families that needed some help or a boost. And, we wanted to bring some Christmas joy to kids and families that wouldn't otherwise be able to do something like that.
Sure.
And so then Shauna was one of our recipients of a sponsored session. So Shauna came in to pick up her pictures, and she was talking to me, and she said, I need to tell you this, and I don't know why, but I need to say it. And she mentioned to me a session style called Purple Boudoir that a photographer in Chicago was doing, and said that it had to do with someone photographing people on the other, or I guess women, in boudoir sessions that had lived through domestic violence of some type. So I got to thinking, because I really wanted an artist project to start, but hadn't found the right group of people. And as soon as she walked out of my office, I started writing and things down and notes. And I was like, this is it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to work with people on the other side of domestic violence.
Shauna, why do you think the Purple Boudoir is a thing? Putting women in that position. What do you think that does for someone who's been through this kind of trauma?
Sure. I think that first of all, boudoir is very personal.
Yeah.
And for me, it's reclaiming my body, especially after a sexual assault. But even without that, I mean, somebody else putting their hands on me or just making me believe differently about my body. Maybe they never put hands on me, but they made me look at myself differently.
Yeah.
Through my eyes, I would look in the mirror and I no longer recognized the woman I was looking at one point, right? And so I think boudoir, the Purple Boudoir, the whole goal of that is to reclaim my body. I think that when you go through trauma, you don't know where you start and where you end. And I think that doing something as vulnerable as boudoir can be really, really healing. So, I mean, that's not the kind of photos that we're going to be doing for my session. Not to say that that's not appropriate for somebody else. Maybe that's what their healing looks like.
Yeah.
I've done boudoir. It is really empowering.
Oh, yeah.
But, I just, that's my view of why it's so important for some women.
What direction, Emily, did you want to take that nugget from Shauna about the Purple Boudoir? Which direction did you want to go with it?
Well, I loved the fact that we were able to work on mental health for teens and tweens with Grace and Grit. And so I'd been trying to find a way to reach adults, that just sharing the power of portraiture when you have a photographer that genuinely cares and is trying to show you what you maybe can't see for yourself.
Sure.
Is really important. And so it just, when she said that, it just meshed all these little like open ends that hadn't quite come together. It was giving me a creative way to push myself. I didn't, I know what I can create consistently. I didn't want to do that.
Sure.
I wanted to do something where I'm trying new lighting and I'm trying new effects and I'm trying new things that I don't normally do. But you need a group of people that everyone's different to be able to do that.
Sure.
So everybody's story is different, although there's a common thread. And so anybody participating in this is my partner. It's not me saying, well, this is what I want to achieve and this is what we're going to do. It's me, first of all, listening to what their story is and to pull out what the most important things are. Like for Sherry.
Yeah. So you two met.
Yes.
So you've had one meeting.
Yes.
And that's the phase one.
Yes.
Okay. And then she tells you her story, and then you start to
create. Like I start thinking, okay, what I really focus on is what were the main things? Like what were the three things I took away from her whole story that I feel like embody that story, that someone can look at the portrait at the end and say, this is the overarching important thing.
Can you describe how this is going to translate into a photo with either story?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a really strong picture in my mind for Sherry's, and it has to do with her pulling herself up. So she'll be photographed from down low so that she now looks very strong, very sharp, and she will be leaning over and reaching for her old self, pulling up, because she told me that her purpose is to look back and to bring people up behind her, to help children, to help women that have walked in that path, and to give them, to let them know that it will be okay. You can keep going.
Sure.
You can become anything you want to be. And that she wasn't built to break.
So that's the imagery. Is this the first time you're hearing that?
What?
Her concept?
Yes.
Okay.
I just got emotional.
Yeah, I definitely just got emotional. Oh my gosh, I think my story sounds great. Like what?
I'm about to cry just listening to them. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
So when she tells you that excites you?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay. So you have not done any of you're just, at this point, we're just meeting.
Yes. At this point, we're just meeting.
Okay.
And we have a date for the session.
Oh, you have a date?
Yeah, for both of them.
We already discussed, this is the hardest part of anything.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about how you're going to, your goal of 15 people, 15 women. So we're going to see how we can try to meet that when we come back. Okay, and we are back. Okay, big picture. The project Through Purple Eyes will be complete by 1 year from now, February 2027.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Okay. 15 participants about.
Yep.
Okay. So we're in the beginning stages of this.
We are.
And then I asked you, final form, how do you see this project coming to light? So explain to me the disclosures, people's comfort level, how this will kind of pan out.
Okay, well, our number one goal is for everyone that comes to talk to us to know that what they say to me inside the studio is confidential. I'm not sharing their story with anyone. We aren't sharing their pictures with anyone unless they authorize it.
Sure.
And they can change their mind at any time. If they just, if they say, sure, go ahead and share it, and then they decide, you know what, I'm not comfortable, we will pull it down. The goal of this is not for publicity or to get likes or any of that.
Or to make a bunch of money.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no, because these sessions are free.
Right.
Yeah, there's no charge for these sessions. This is truly about helping people heal and about growing my technical ability as a fine art photographer.
Shauna just mentioned that she thought it was really great that she's kind of doing her homework, so to speak. So what is Emily doing to make sure the participants are comfortable?
Yeah, so she told me that she's been reaching out to therapists to make sure that she's handling this with as much delicacy and sensitivity to be trauma informed as she does this, because our safety is the most important thing to her.
Yeah,
For sure.
creating the safe space.
Absolutely. And it's probably the thing that is the least, I mean, if I imagine that would be the thing I had the least of is trust in people.
Sure.
So I want to be very, very sensitive to that. And even, not touching someone, if I were to be posing your family, like odds are good, I'm going to go in and grab your husband's shoulders or, whatever. But not touching people without express permission is a big one. I want to make sure everyone feels safe.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to you, Sherry. You say you kind of find yourself closed a little bit, and so why is this important for you to do this project where seemingly it's going to be seen? And is that a scary proposition?
Well, I'm at a point where now I'm ready to tell it. I've had years of contemplating, and now I'm just like, what other best time to do it?
You want to tell your story. Do you have a girl or a boy?
I have a little boy.
Oh, you have a little boy. Okay. How do you handle explaining your past, your history to him to make him the best man he can be, if that makes sense? Or do you not?
I haven't really expressed a lot with him, just because I'm not ready to share that with him. I don't think he's ready, because he's so used to me being strong.
Yeah.
And he's not there yet. Do I think he'll understand? Yes, he does know a little bit of my background, but not much.
Okay, sure.
So he's pretty sheltered on that end. But I've always told him, my last name says it all. I'm a Carter. My dad always told us, we don't ever give up. And he's one of the best men I've ever had in my life.
Oh, your
He's
dad.
my father. He's always told me a woman can do anything a man can do, probably even better.
Sure.
And that's probably where I get my grind from.
Yeah.
He's 76. He's still going strong.
Oh, he
and
is.
He's a blessing, and he's my blessing.
Sure.
And I just think I want to tell my story before he's gone, because he is important to me.
Does he know your story in its entirety?
He knows a little bit.
Oh, interesting.
But I know it'll break his heart.
Oh, really? So you want to protect him from that? So when Emily puts together your gorgeous pictures and your expressive pictures, will this be something you share with him?
I probably would.
Yeah. You should.
Probably would.
Yeah. You don't want him to feel responsibility for anything.
No, he shouldn't.
Okay, he shouldn't. Okay.
He shouldn't.
Can I ask how you freed yourself from the situation?
Oh, I actually...
Tell me more.
I actually called him. I was in Mississippi.
Okay.
I had moved down there, basically wanting to be around my biological mother. It was just too much partying and drugs and men, and it was a fast life. I'm not used to a fast life.
Sure.
I was sheltered as a kid. And one day I had got enough of, being a guy's step stool and my mom's drug mule, And I called my dad and I was like, Dad, I gotta come home. I was like, I can no longer be down here. He's like, well, what's wrong? I was like, I'll tell you later. I just can't be here.
Just get me out of here.
Well, come on home. He's like, you can come home. He's like, we didn't tell you had to stay down there.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I knew he was my rock.
Okay. And he kept asking you questions, and you kept it as innocent as you possibly could.
Of course.
To
I'm
protect
still his
him.
little girl.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Now, where's your dad now? Is he in Illinois?
Yes, he actually lives in Champaign.
Oh, he does. Okay, okay. Your mom's still around?
My bio mom is passed.
Okay.
My other mom, she lives in Urbana.
Okay.
So yeah.
Emily, we talked a little bit about what her portraiture was going to look like. How do you envision Shauna's? Can you explain that a little bit?
Shauna's as she has some very, very different things, although they have walked similar paths. They're the crux of their story of what is going to be told visually will be different. And so with Shauna's, I see a lot of, or I see the potential for her kind of being strung like a puppet. And then having a lot of what was said to her that was emotionally abusive, overlaying on her body.
Okay.
I've got a couple of ideas for her, but that's the one I'm leaning towards.
And okay, the final form of this, if let's say everyone says, I want to share, how do you envision it? A bound book?
Yeah, I would love to do a bound book and give each of the people that participated in it a copy. But I would also really like to do one image from each session, have it printed fairly large, and do a gallery showing at the end of the project.
Okay, so we're again like February 2026.
Yeah,
is kind of
that's the goal. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I want to talk about how you've kind of pushed your direction of your studio into a philanthropy space. When we come back. Okay, we talked a little bit about the structure of this project, and I want to go to Sherry. And Sherry, if Emily was trying to recruit others to do this, other women, okay, who are listening or come across this this package, what would you tell them to encourage them to share, to open up, to be vulnerable in this way?
I would say it's okay to be you. It's okay to overcome. And it's okay to move on.
Do you think this project would be a good place to move on from, to kind of put it
I feel like it's a start.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
I feel like anybody can benefit from it.
So we're looking at and Sherry corrected me, it was February 2027, let's say this gallery opening. How are we going to get your goal of 15 people, 15 women?
That's a great question. Well, telling everybody anybody that will listen, I'm telling about the project. I have, with the help of Shauna and some other people, really narrowed and zoned in on community organizations that work with people that have been through domestic abuse of some kind. So we're working with Courage Connection. We are trying to get in with Crisis Nursery, Willow Tree in Monticello. We've been put in contact with Races. So there are a few other groups too that we're still looking for a connector piece.
Sure.
Because I reached out to Willow Tree directly and just sent an email and said, hey, I'm a photographer, I'm doing this project, and was like, I hope this makes it past the first email dump. Okay, whatever. So trying to find people that can vouch for me and, show that, this is a legit project, and that the people that they refer to me will be safe with us.
I want to, I'm going to actually read some of the descriptors on your PR piece.
Okay.
Through Purple Eyes, Portraits of Resilience and Courage. Through Purple Eyes is an ongoing portrait artist project with Pixels by Emily. The project honors resilience, courage, and the quiet strength found on the other side of domestic abuse, physical, emotional, or psychological. Each portrait is approached slowly and intentionally, guided by comfort, consent, and emotional readiness. There is no expectation to perform, pose, or share more than feels right. Invitation only. All conversations remain confidential. Participants retain control over whether or not their images, stories are shared. So this seems like you're really trying to create the safest place possible for these women.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked about how you're going to get the 15 people. When is your first session taking place?
Our first session is actually in, what's today, the 16th, in 10 days.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
With Shauna.
It's Shauna.
Okay. Shauna's number one.
Shauna, you're very open. How do you feel approaching this session? Excitement, nerves? What do you hope to get out of it?
Excitement, definitely. And healing is not linear, and it is an ongoing process.
Sure.
So I hope to just feel continued strength. I think
Yeah.
that's the word that I gave you. I want to continue to feel strong when I leave from the studio.
How do you have a little girl
And a little boy.
and a little boy. How do you communicate what's happened to you and where you are in your healing to them, if at all?
Yeah, so unfortunately, they know way too much. They know a lot.
Okay.
And some of that was robbed from me, and they were informed by other parties. But it has really benefited our relationship. I've talked to them a lot about strong women raise strong women or people.
Sure.
And just they have got to watch me kind of fall and rise. And I really try to teach them to give themselves grace as well, that this life is going to be tough.
Yeah.
And I really want to show my little girl what she deserves and how she should be treated in a relationship. And I really try to model that in my current relationship. I was single for 5 years, but I'm in the healthiest relationship I've ever had right now. And I want my son to, know how to treat a woman and also what he deserves.
Sure.
And I try really hard to model that. And I do have age-appropriate conversations with them about this. They ask a lot of questions, and children are very observant, and they are very, very smart.
They don't miss a thing.
They do not miss a
Even
thing.
though you hope they miss a thing, they do not miss it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sherry, approaching your, has yours been scheduled yet?
Yes.
Okay. What has she told you to prepare yourself, or how are you going to prepare yourself? Maybe an intensive face mask?
No.
No?
I'll probably just keep an open mind.
Keep an open mind. Will you help Emily recruit others?
I will.
You will. I bet that's going to be your biggest
do too.
resource is these two.
Well, I mean, word of mouth is always our best marketing. I mean, for anything that we do, because we are so different. We are kind of out there in niche work. And so people that have walked the journey with us are always our best resource
that's true.
for finding new people.
Sherry, where do you think you are on the spectrum of healing as from 15 to now?
I'm going to say about maybe 85%.
85. So is it, do you think about that year daily?
It crosses my mind often. It used to cross my mind often. Now I'm getting a little bit like, oh, it's behind me. But then when I start talking about what happened in my past, sometimes they be like, well, how was you when you were younger? And then I was like, oh, I remember that.
Okay.
It'll come back to me.
It'll come back to you. And in a very negative, that feeling, that physical sick feeling.
But then I have to sit back and think, like, man, you done came a long way.
Okay.
Like, you could be still down here doing this, that, and a third, or you could be up here doing what you do best.
So it's a success story in that respect.
At the end of the day.
Shauna, where are you on the spectrum?
I picture healing, at least my healing, like a yarn ball that's been unraveled and then wound back up.
Sure.
Because it's like I thought I was healed.
Yeah.
And then I became a mother to a baby girl.
Yeah.
And then my world was rocked, right? Like, how can any parent do that to their child? And so it just depends on what's happening in life that I feel, I don't know that I'll ever 100% be healed. What does that even look like?
Sure.
But I feel really strong right now.
Yeah.
And you can own your story, or you can be part of somebody else's story when they talk about you.
Right.
And I choose to own it. And I think that gives me a lot of empowerment and a sense of healing.
Okay. This is, I'm excited to see how this comes to fruition. I hope that people are knocking down your door.
Me too.
And I do and I don't, because it means that it's out there and prevalent.
Right.
Yeah,
I wish there was that the subject matter didn't exist for me.
Right.
I really do.
But I hope you guys, this makes you feel beautiful and strong. And I think Emily will achieve that. Okay, so let's talk about where to find all of you guys, and if you're willing to support others and be contacted and all of that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sherry, where do we contact you?
I thought I gave you my information. I should have information, shouldn't I?
Well, yeah, but they went for the people.
Like,
How do they contact
do you Instagram, Facebook?
Oh, on Facebook.
So are you, I guess what I'm saying is, are you willing to be a support and
Of course.
Of course. Okay. Shauna, I know you are. So how do we contact you and see you?
Yeah, so you can email me at shaunaboatright@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook, Shauna Boatright, or Held Hostage at Home. You can find me on Instagram, Shauna Nicole, or Held Hostage at Home, TikTok.
Do you find yourself, do you become the recipient of other people's stories and needs?
All the time.
Really?
All the time. In fact, every single week on TikTok, I get somebody reaches out about how a female is surrendering to a woman's prison somewhere, and I end up calling them to coach them through it and hear the story. And you know what? 90% of the time, there's some kind of domestic violence connected to it.
Sure. So that does not intimidate you, taking on these?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it is prevalent. It is incredibly prevalent.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I love to be a sounding board for that, because as victims, we are so silenced, or we're so ashamed that we stay silent. And talking about it is how this is going to get better.
Sure. Emily, how do we contact you for all the things?
All the things, all of our social. We are on Facebook and Instagram at Pixels by Emily. And our website is pixelsbyemily.com. You can email me at emily@pixelsbyemily.com.
Okay.
We kind of have a common thread.
That makes it easy.
Try to make it easy.
That makes it easy. Okay, well, if you yourself or you know someone who might be interested in Through Purple Eyes, this project, get in touch with one of these fabulous women. Thank you, guys. This is not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to talk about. It's not an easy thing to photograph, but it's a beautiful, wonderful thing, ultimately. So thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Bye. Thank you for listening to this week's Hyperlocal show. If you like what you hear or you need anything from me, let me know at hyperlocalscu.com. Also, search and follow Hyperlocals CU on all social media. Like me, follow me. Bye.